If you're moving to Silicon Valley, don't overlook these cities. Everyone knows about the big name cities in Silicon Valley like Palo Alto and Mountain View, while overlooking hidden gems just next door. I've helped hundreds of families find their perfect home here, and I've discovered the cities with the best lifestyle and strongest potential aren't necessarily the ones everyone talks about. While most people fight over the same overcrowded cities, these are incredible opportunities nearby you should definitely consider. Let me show you my top overlooked Silicon Valley cities that deserve your attention, starting with one that might surprise you the most. Santa Clara, the tech capital you haven't considered. Did you know that the world's first $4 trillion company has its headquarters in a city most tech workers completely overlook? Santa Clara is Silicon Valley's unsung hero. It's home to Nvidia, which hit that amazing $4 trillion value mark. The AI boom has made Nvidia flush with cash, and they're pouring money into real estate here. $254 million on just 3 Santa Clara office buildings, as they put nearly $750 million total in real estate in the area throughout the years. But Nvidia isn't the only big player here. Santa Clara also houses Applied Materials, AMD, and Ericsson too. The city calls it an extraordinary array of high-tech companies, which is putting it mildly. With over 12,000 businesses in Santa Clara, the city makes more than $15 billion yearly and has over 100,000 jobs. What makes Santa Clara so great is that the location-wise is right in the middle in the heart of Silicon Valley. Just 5 minutes west you have San Jose, 45 miles south of San Francisco. You can get almost anywhere without killing yourself on the commute. The city has continued to go through major changes right now with projects like the Clara District, a massive 45-acre mixed-use project right next to Levi Stadium. When it's fully complete, this district will have over 4,500 homes, parks, bike lanes, walkable paths, and tons of restaurants and shops. Santa Clara's housing market has been very strong as well. The median price for single-family homes is at $1.93 million. A place we're going to discover later on, like Campbell, which is more of a small-town oasis in the heart of Silicon Valley, Santa Clara's identity is firmly rooted in its tech-centric economy and future development. One thing that gives Santa Clara an edge is its low business taxes, cheap utility rates through the city-owned Silicon Valley Power, and lots of commercial properties at different price points. With more than $3 billion in new projects coming up, the city is really set for growth. But here's the thing, most homebuyers really miss about Santa Clara, Levi Stadium. This $1.2 billion venue hosts 49er games, brings Super Bowls, concerts, major corporate events right to the backyard, which has sparked a lot of excitement and a lot of entertaining things to do around that area. By the way, if we haven't met yet, I'm Spencer Su, and I help tech professionals and their families find their perfect home in Silicon Valley. After 10 years in tech myself, I understand exactly what matters when you're balancing career opportunities with quality of life here. If you're enjoying this breakdown of overlooked Silicon Valley cities, hit that subscribe button below. I share new insights about Silicon Valley neighborhoods, market trends, and strategies every single week that you're not going to find elsewhere. Now, Santa Clara gives you this perfect mix of tech jobs, future growth, but that's just the beginning. Here's where it gets interesting. Our next city offers something completely different that might even be more valuable depending on your work situation. Let's go over Sunnyvale, which is strategically positioned between the tech giants. If you look on a map, Sunnyvale may probably have the best location in the valley because it's sitting right between Apple's Cupertino headquarters and Google's Mountain View campus. This makes it a no-brainer for tech workers who want shorter drives while still having a very balanced lifestyle that you're going to get in these corporate heavy areas nearby. What's crazy is that Apple's Campus 3, also known as Apple Wolf, is actually within Sunnyvale's city limits. We're talking about 882,000 square feet of office space on an 18-acre site. So whenever I hear other places say that they're growing a lot, this has nothing compared to what the Bay Area encompasses. This building houses thousands of Apple employees and has better access to Caltrain stations than Apple's main Cupertino campus. The city is also close to other major employers like LinkedIn, Yahoo, and tons of other small tech companies. All of these employers create this strong job market and keep driving up demand for housing for tech professionals, making those incredibly nice salaries. Sunnyvale itself is also going through these major urban change with mixed-use projects that make the city more walkable and transit-friendly. Cityline Sunnyvale, which is changing the downtown area into this lively community with new homes, with new rentals, shops, and public spaces right next to their Caltrain station. Now, the Sunnyvale housing market is competitive with fantastic price growth through the years. The median single-family home is at $2.78 million. Now, there are much cheaper, more affordable options like condos and townhomes that can get up to about $1.7 million. Now, while not hitting the luxury levels of Los Gatos, which we're going to see is the enclave for the valley's most successful executives and founders, Sunnyvale does offer a different kind of value through its strategic location. It has easy access to major highways, the Central Expressway and Lawrence Expressway are local major routes that connect you directly to other Silicon Valley cities. And we discussed a little bit briefly, Caltrain could get you all the way up to San Francisco if you need to head up north working at those AI companies. But here's what's changing faster than anything else in Sunnyvale, and it's reshaping where tech workers want to live, which is the lifestyle and the environment in downtown Sunnyvale. Murphy Street has continued to evolve and blown up with dining and entertainment options, while outdoor people are still enjoying their love for the Sunnyvale Golf Course in the Baylands Park. Now, if you're thinking, this sounds great, but I want something with a little bit more personality, you're gonna love our next city. What if we can have all the convenience of Silicon Valley, but with a completely different vibe? Let's talk about Campbell, which is a small town charm with the Silicon Valley access. Now, Campbell somehow keeps his amazing small town charm despite sitting right in the heart of the busy valley. It used to be called the Orchard City because of its farming past, and Campbell has managed to balance that homey feel with all the modern perks that you need. The downtown area is Campbell's crown jewel. It's this beautiful walkable center with boutiques, restaurants, cafes, and community gathering spaces. You also have the farmers markets that occur here every single week. Now, even within the street, you got these tree-lined roads with over 100 shops set against this backdrop of historic buildings. One thing that really stands out though is that about Campbell is how it creates a sense of community through the year-round events. I spoke about the Sunday Farmers Market. You got the First Fridays. You get the Boogie on the Avenue Music Festival. You get the Summer Concert Series and their yearly Oktoberfest. These events create these strong community bonds you just don't find in most Silicon Valley cities anymore. The city's VTA light rail station in downtown Campbell connects you directly to Santa Clara, San Jose, and other Silicon Valley locations in case you need to rely on that and not rely on your car itself. Now, Campbell gives you very diverse housing options, but most of it are going to be older single-family homes. The median price here for a single-family home is at $1.9 million. The pricing is still premium, but not as much as some of those other cities that we just spoke about. So it gives you a lot of great flexible options if you are priced out of Cupertino or West San Jose. Now, the city also has many different distinct neighborhoods for different tastes and budgets. You got areas like the Dry Creek Prunier neighborhood, which has some incredible, well-maintained mid-century ranch-style homes with quiet tree-lined streets and easy access to the shops. You got places like West Campbell, which is more like the San Tomas neighborhood. Those will have larger lots and much more expensive homes, where homes could easily go over $3 million today. Campbell also has great recreation facilities, including the Campbell Community Center with fitness facilities, swimming pools, and sports courts. The Campbell Park connects to the Los Gatos Creek Trail, giving you 12 miles of paved paths for running, cycling, and family activities. Now, just like all those other great cities, that's why Silicon Valley is so connected. It also has easy access to Highway 17, 85, and 280, giving you direct routes to all sorts of the major cities: Cupertino, Sunnyvale, Mountain View, and San Jose. You're literally within 10 miles of all the major tech campuses here like Apple, Intel, and Nvidia. So Campbell offers, as you can see, this great blend of work-life accessibility compared to another place we're going to be looking at, which is Milpitas, which we're going to discover that is one of the best transit-connected places in all of Silicon Valley. Now, Campbell is fantastic, but where do many of the successful tech leaders choose to live when price is no object? I'm not going to talk about the major cities like Los Altos, Palo Alto, but I'm going to talk to you about a town called Los Gatos, where a lot of tech leadership lives. Los Gatos is the global headquarters for Netflix, making the community the center for entertainment technology and digital media innovation. The town has become the preferred home for a lot of Silicon Valley's senior executives and tech leaders, with tons of residents holding key positions at Apple, Google, Meta, and other industry giants, or maybe they work at Netflix itself. Los Gatos offers what I call quiet luxury, high-end perks, and exclusive neighborhoods without that corporate feel or media attention you get in places like Palo Alto. This privacy appeals to a lot of successful executives who prefer that quiet living while still being very close to Silicon Valley's opportunities. The 25-minute average commute is very reasonable, accessing Silicon Valley's major job centers while maintaining that residential luxury experience. The median home here is at $2.6 million, but it's not uncommon to see many homes, especially in the core downtown Los Gatos area, easily above $4 million. Now, downtown Los Gatos is the jewel here because it is on the National Register of Historic Places and is basically a model for what communities hope to achieve in their downtown environment, where you still have the preservation of high-end boutiques, fine dining restaurants, yet you still have the old charm of what it used to be a long time ago. While at the same time, it's very tucked away right by the Santa Cruz Mountains, so it's perfect for world-class wineries, hiking trails, and lots of scenic beauty. Think about this, you got local spots like Galley Vineyards, Testarossa Winery, and Regal Winery, which gives residents that amazing wine experience that rivals different parts of Napa Valley without having to go through that distance and still enjoy a very mild climate. Now, let's talk about the housing there. Los Gatos housing is one of the more expensive and exclusive markets in the Bay Area because you got properties in areas like Glen Ridge and Los Gatos Hills offer sprawling estates with scenic views, while the downtown area provides that historic charm, modern amenities, and convenience. Now, with the city's strict building rules, there is very limited supply of new things and there isn't any real space to build it. Now, the good news is that there are some condos and townhomes that are built by Summerhill over the years that has been very attractive for people wanting a newer home but can't afford the single family budget. Now, I want to share with you one of the best value in Silicon Valley, which is Milpitas, the strategic transit hub. Because think about it, what if you could access the entire Bay Area from a single hub while paying about 30% less for housing? That's what Milpitas offers for individuals. The median price point at this city is at around $1.6 million, which is some of the lowest that you see because it is one of the furthest as you go down that chain between a Mountain View, Sunnyvale, Santa Clara, and then ultimately Milpitas. Now, the reason why Milpitas is so popular though is that it has a lot of great, fantastic Asian cuisine, yet it's at the intersection, if you think about it, where you don't actually have to cross the bridge to get to Mountain View and Sunnyvale. You can simply go westward towards 237 versus every other place as you go up the bay, you're gonna have to pay the toll bridge, which is now about $6 per time. Not only this, their expansion of the BART line going through Milpitas and through Berryessa, North San Jose, also makes it very attractive to be that connector. It's one of the only places where everything can connect. You can take the BART from where you're at to Milpitas. There's a VTA line that can then connect you to the Caltrain, and then from the Caltrain you can go wherever you may be. So you can technically get around without even needing a car, depending on what your work situation is and where you're coming from. Now, in addition to this, they have built a lot of newer homes through the years. Milpitas around the Great Mall, because that's where the bar station is, has built a ton of new housing. I'm talking about thousands of homes. Now, most of these are condos and townhomes. So there's a lot of new products over the last 10 years that becomes available. And at the same time, there's a lot of apartments built, and there's still some newer construction townhomes that continue to be built through the years. Now, location-wise, outside of just a public transit, you can see it sits strategically along two different corridors. You have Highway 680 and 880, depending on where you need to be. Whether you need to head out to Pleasanton area or you need to head out to Hayward area, you can see it goes right alongside the city itself. So that's part of the reason why the city is so ideal when it comes to logistics, warehousing, but it still has a lot of good tech jobs. You have the tech 1.0 companies like a Cisco, you have Samsung nearby, you have KLO 10 Core. All of those are in Milpitas itself. Now, we talked about all the different options in the South Bay, and a lot of people have been always asking, hey, look, Silicon Valley is not only in the South Bay. You're correct. Let's talk about some in the peninsula side. Let's talk about Redwood City, which I consider as a very tech-friendly northern gateway. So if you're looking for that prime location between San Francisco and Silicon Valley, Redwood City historically has transformed from what locals once jokingly called Deadwood City into now a thriving tech center with some of the best downtown environments you can find. Because you have major companies like Box and EA that call it home. But what's fascinating about Redwood City is how the employment landscape has shifted completely. Now it makes up nearly 24% of all jobs in the city. This concentration of tech talent is creating a great ecosystem that's attracting more companies every year, which also attracts more people to live there every year. So if you're someone renting there, it's rough. But if you're someone that's owning a place, you have done incredibly well. And it all started because of a plan over 10 years ago from the local government to completely revitalize the downtown area. And the downtown area was completely changed because first they started doing more mixed-use space, but then they also had Box as their flagship landlord. Right now, the median home price is at $1.86 million. So it has continued to do well, but I still think there's a lot more opportunities ahead. Now, nearly 40% of the residents here work within the city itself, but the mean travel time isn't that far. People aren't needing to commute far. The mean travel time is only 25 minutes. So as you can see, the city provides excellent access to both Silicon Valley and San Francisco via Highway 101, 280, and the frequent Caltrain service. This strategic mid-peninsula location gives you that flexibility if your job changes or if you're in the household where people work in different parts of the bay. But what if you wanted even more lifestyle amenities along with that perfect commute? Well, let's talk about the next city that's kind of that next tier that's similar to Redwood City, but has been more developed and even more central between San Francisco and Silicon Valley, which is San Mateo. Now, this city has evolved into a significant tech hub, hosting major companies like Snowflake, Roblox, PlayStation, and Sony Interactive. With over 210 tech companies and startups calling San Mateo home, the ecosystem is remarkably diverse. But what truly sets San Mateo apart is its lifestyle. You have a downtown proper, which has lots of great restaurants, lots of great coffee shops, and then you also have the revamped Hillsdale Shopping Center, which gives you that higher end dining, but also higher end shopping. Very few places in the entire Bay Area will have both of those within the city limits itself. Commuting is also very easy. You're right across the San Mateo Bridge, but you also have easy access on both sides between 101 on the right and Interstate 280 on the left. So commute times are also very, very manageable. It's also even more north, so getting to the city from Caltrain is going to be a shorter commute. Here are some notable spots that you can check out in the downtown area. You have Rin-Tei, which is for some great Asian fusion. Kachiken for some unique opera soba. You're not gonna get that anywhere else. Taishoken, they've kind of been expanding, but you can get some great dipping ramen. You can see a lot of these places aren't like big chains, so that's what you get local entrepreneurs owners doing these fantastic restaurants that you're just not going to get anywhere else. Now, in terms of community, you have the fantastic Tea Garden, you have this fantastic Central Park, but let's also talk about, most importantly, about the housing here. Interesting enough, the median housing price, because there's a lot of condos and townhomes, is only actually around $1.6 million, but the single family will be significantly higher at over $2 million. So as you can see, San Mateo will give you this perfect balance of location and lifestyle, but what if you're willing to look a bit further out for even more housing value? Now, this area is going to be much more comparable to like a Milpitas, because if you're willing to go across the bridge, you're going to be able to get very good housing with some pretty good schools for the budget. Let's wrap things up with Fremont, because Fremont offers a complete different approach to Silicon Valley living because it's now connected to the East Bay, where tech opportunities are still around, but most people will be commuting. The city's biggest claim to fame is going to be Tesla Gigafactory, which employs over 20,000 people and produces nearly 500,000 vehicles annually. This facility represents one of the largest manufacturing operations in the entire Bay Area, so hopefully they'll never leave. Now, what's also special about Fremont is that they have a ton of healthcare companies. You have all the major hospitals here, so depending on your insurance situation, a lot of people, especially with elder parents, they want to live in Fremont, so they have easy access to the hospitals whenever they want to go do their checkups. Now, the housing options are also pretty significant, as in it has a very big range depending on the area where you live. You think about the place that is by Innovation, which is in the southern part of Fremont. There's a lot of condos and townhomes there that range from $900,000 to about $1.4 million. And you have a lot of single family that has been developed for a long time. You have the best area like Mission, San Jose. Those places can easily go over 2.5 to 3 million. You also have places like in the Ardenwood or Irvington. Those areas are plus or minus $2 million. But the general medium home price, including condos and townhomes, is at $1.63 million today. But that's because the condos and townhomes, there's a lot of them there, which allows a lot more entry, but also allows you to potentially move in from one location to another. That's one of the benefits of Fremont, where you actually have that opportunity versus a lot of other cities. They don't have that move up ability, right? A lot of other cities, you either are renting and kind of buy a place. So like, for example, Redwood City, you'll be renting and then you just try to buy a nice place. There's not many condos or townhomes to get people up. Then you're kind of stuck renting for a long time. Versus in Fremont, you can buy a condo or townhome, live in it for 5 years, and then hopefully you have the savings and the gains and then roll it into a nice single family home. Now that's the benefit of Fremont. You have great schools, great value, as long as you're willing to commute and go across the bridge. Now next up, I do want to go back across the bridge, go to the neighbor of Palo Alto, which is Menlo Park, because Menlo Park is very overlooked if you have that budget and you have that interest. Think about Menlo Park. It hosts Meta's global headquarters, which employs over 12,000 people. The sprawling 250-acre campus includes more than 30 buildings and is one of Silicon Valley's definitely most significant corporate centers, period. What's incredible though is how Meta continues to expand there. They continue to create like public amenities like Meta Park and a new pedestrian and bicycle bridge connecting the Bellhaven to the Baytro area. Beyond Meta though, Menlo Park houses other major employers like SRI International, Robert Half, and even Robinhood. Now the city's economy revolves around Sand Hill Road, which is the home to all sorts of venture capital firms, private equity, and financial services that power the Silicon Valley's innovation startup ecosystem. Now the housing market at Menlo Park is at a premium. For single family homes, the median price is at $3.18 million. It shows incredibly strong demand for that location because it ranges significantly. Menlo Park on the very north are much smaller. There you can get homes at under $1.5 million. But as you move more south, especially when you get around and south of the downtown area, which is lovely by the way, homes can get there easily over $3, $4, $5 million. Now the downtown area features lovely dining options. You got Farmhouse Kitchen Thai Cuisine, True Food Kitchen for a nice brunch, La Stanza Cucina for a nice Italian date night. They're similar to like San Mateo. You got these amazing restaurants that are only going to be found in a particular city. Well, there you have it. Silicon Valley offers incredible variety across the city, as you can see, each with its own unique strengths and dynamics. As you can see, the difference between choosing the right city versus the wrong one can literally mean hundreds if not millions of dollars in your future home value, not to mention the most important impact on your day-to-day quality of life. So if you're thinking about a move to Silicon Valley, I love to help you find your perfect match amongst these hidden gems. Contact me directly through my email hello@spencersu.com, and let's talk about how we can create a buying and or selling strategy that fits your lifestyle and your goals. But if you enjoyed this deep dive into Silicon Valley's hidden gems and perhaps want a more complete overview of all the cities in the region, check out this video here where I break down all major cities in the valley. See you next time.